You're 7 years old, sat in front of a TV with a kids show on. You should be smiling, but your heart races, your eyes are wide, you're scared. There's a young girl and her siblings, all sitting up in bed at night. A clock strikes 9, the sound echoing down a gloomy hallway. And then there's the tiger. The tiger gazes out of the darkness and everyone is terrified. The girl, her siblings, and you. The show finishes, time passes, the years turn into decades, and you begin to wonder, did I really watch that? Was that show with the creepy tiger real? Or was it just a nightmare? Does anyone else remember it? Yes, they do. But those kids, now adults, can't find that show today. They can only piece together fading memories. It's vanished. But could this piece of lost media ever be found, decades after terrifying a generation of kids? This is the story of Jandy Malone and the 9 O'Clock Tiger, Australia's creepiest lost kids show. Our story begins in the early 1980s. Barbara Bolton had established a serious writing career, but she wanted to try something a little different. Children's books. And so Barbara wrote a book that would scare all the kids who read it, and some adults. It was a tale of a 10-year-old girl named Jandy Malone and her younger siblings Edwin, Peter and Samantha. And they were all scared of staying up after 9 PM. That's when they thought a Tasmanian tiger prowled down their hallway. As you probably guessed, Barbara's story became Jandy Malone and the 9 O'Clock Tiger. It was a picture book with eerie art by Alan White. I won't spoil it for you here. If you do pick up a copy though, you'll find a story that explores a child's anxieties over some real family issues and their fear of something that's lurking in the dark. Above all, you'll learn about self-reliance and facing your fears, both the real and the imagined. It wouldn't reach the popularity of other Australian children's books of the era, but Jandy Malone and the 9 O'Clock Tiger was well received and left enough of an impression to inspire adaptations. The first was a stage production by the Handspan Theatre, but as weird as that adaptation was, with its puppets and strobe lights, it wouldn't be the most infamous. We now come to February 1984. The ABC loved one particular high school production of the 9 O'Clock Tiger, so much so that they turned it into a 2-part TV special with the Tasmanian tiger replaced by a big cat. But the story and the creep factor all remained. Young children worried over their changing family, and the terror of the 9 O'Clock Tiger, still there, in the dark. We know the ABC aired Jandy Malone and the 9 O'Clock Tiger as part of their For the Juniors lineup until at least 1986. I found a bunch of old newspaper TV guide listings on Trove which show this, and there's likely more. But the 9 O'Clock Tiger also seems to have crept its way into classrooms until at least the early 1990s. It was a teaching aid that may or may not have accompanied the book, but it didn't stick around. By the late 1990s, it was gone, as if it never happened. I never saw Jandy Malone and the 9 O'Clock Tiger as a kid, but I've done my research, and other people definitely do remember seeing it. And it's their scattered memories which remain, as well as anxiety and doubt. If you search online for the 9 O'Clock Tiger TV special right now, you might find a live journal entries, some Reddit threads, and some blogs written in the last few years. But the earliest mention online seems to be a 2007 thread on an old Lano Woodley forum of all things. User Nyandra encouraged people to talk about the shows that nobody else seems to remember, and their contribution was the 9 o'clock tiger.
I was shown it in school, in Year 2. It was a short film about these kids who were told that they had to be in bed and asleep by 9 p.m. or the 9 o'clock tiger would come down the hallway and get them. So of course one night they stay up to see if it's true. And it is. And the tiger appears bit by bit. Whiskers first, then tail I think. And so he appears and is coming towards their room, where they dive under the covers and don't come out until morning. Scared me so much.
The post didn't get much attention. Just one responder remembered watching it also, and of course there was no evidence of its actual existence. Was OP losing it? Not at all. If you were scrolling through Imager in March 2019, you might have seen a thread about the 9 o'clock tiger with over 300 comments. User, surely one of these usernames is available, had been haunted by the show for years and collected other people's memories online, and they straight up asked for people's help in finding their nightmare. Some commenters did remember it and found info on the play in the book, but others said it just didn't exist. They thought it was a creepypasta like Candle Cove or an SCP. Then, in August 2019, the 9 o'clock tiger would start to emerge from the dark. Imager user 80s TV Australia uploaded screenshots from the ABC's Most Traumatic Kids program. Among them are Jandy and her siblings, a hallway with a grandfather clock, and of course, the infamous tiger. It's this bizarre neon-looking puppet creature, cloaked in a dark void. Most interesting of all though, the screenshots include the program's clapper, which says it's part 2 of 2. Whoever the uploader was, didn't just upload from an old TV recording. These screenshots were from a master copy. It makes you wonder, how'd they get their hands on it? From there, Recollections kept piling in. October 2020, a thread was made on the Lost Media Wiki forums, gathering more information on the show. Even Lost Media Wiki founder Diecade chimed in, with a page from a master's thesis discussing the show's use as a teaching aid, and again, it's said to have 2 parts. And in March 2023, another thread was made on Reddit about the 9 o'clock tiger. One commenter claims they were in the production as a 13-year-old, but so far they haven't responded to questions about their involvement. Reddit has so few characters had a primal response to seeing the thread. They'd been tiger hunting too, and their hearts skipped a beat at seeing the screenshots. I got in touch with so few characters, and they were kind enough to share more of their memories of the 9 o'clock tiger via DM.
I definitely would have been young, maybe 5 or 6. I don't recall when, because they are very, very vague memories. I wasn't aware of the book. I was only aware of the song and fluorescent tiger. The tiger in the hallway freaked me out. But I had it in my head that it was not going to harm them in the end. Not sure why. Maybe my young mind's making it better? Who knows?
Throughout many of these forums and threads, someone had contacted the ABC about the show. According to this anon, the ABC did have a copy, but they wouldn't be releasing it. Various music licensing issues prevented them from doing so, and a music edited copy would attract a hefty price. Even the ABC themselves only had the second half of the show though. The first half had been missing from their archives since 2009, but how did they lose it? Just another mystery to add to the pile, I guess. And for a while, that was all the tiger that we would see. But then, some footage dropped. In July 2023, an anonymous forum goer linked the second half of Jandy Malone and the 9 o'clock tiger in all of its glory. And it's as weird and unsettling as you'd expect. The kids are scared out of their minds. Jandy is monologuing to the camera. There's a grandfather clock, jarring music, and the 9 o'clock tiger itself in all of its bouncy neon puppet glory. And there's also some sinning and floating neon furniture puppets. It's an effective production, strangeness and all, you can easily see why kids would be scared and how it would stick with them for decades. Perhaps best of all, the upload contained the program's credits, which showed that it was produced in association with Morialta High School in Adelaide, South Australia. I've emailed the school to see if they have a copy, but I haven't heard back. Not many other people seem to have reacted to this upload so far, but you might not be surprised to hear that so few characters had some thoughts on it.
You'll have to forgive me, but I'm not that keen to watch it. It still freaks me out to think about, let alone watch, but amazing that someone found it.
And I completely understand where they're coming from. Some things from your childhood can just scare you that much. The ABC might not have it, and the school might not have it, but I think there's a chance that the rest of Jandy Malone and the 9 o'clock tiger is still out there. And perhaps you can help find it. Maybe you're a teacher and can see if it's at your school, some VHS gathering dust in a long forgotten storage box. Or it could be at your local library, sitting on a shelf for the past few decades. Or maybe you or your parents taped it off the ABC and still have it after all of these years. If you're still listening to me after all of this, then I'd encourage you to join the hunt. You might be the one to find the 9 o'clock tiger, or the 9 o'clock tiger might find you.